Okay, hi everyone. Deeply sorry that I'm just coming online. There has been some like glitches, but then it has been fixed. So sorry. Can you all hear me? Okay. Um, what we have to do is so please let's just hold on. Okay. If you can hear me, please type on the comment that you can hear me. Okay. All right. I'm really sorry that we're just starting. I don't know what happened. I really do not understand what happened. But then thank God I'm here now and let's get started. Okay, so you might want to share the link with your friends so they get to know that we are live. So let me get the link. Close. So let's just hold on. Okay, please let's share the link. Let's share the link so that we can start joining. Okay. I'm super excited to have you all here with me. Super excited. I don't know about you, but I am. Okay, let me quickly share the link so that people can start joining. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Let's just wait for a few more minutes. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for joining. And so let's get started. It's already 7:11. Okay, so everyone, hi everyone. My name is Mary Emuze, and I am super excited to have you join me on this live session. Yes, I am deeply, and I'm sorry once again for coming late. Well, I wouldn't say late, but then I am sorry. So I'm a virtual assistant who recently completed her ALX VA program, and truth is, it has been an amazing journey of growth for me. What I know now is if I was told that, oh, I was going to know that then, I would probably say, oh, it's a lie. But I'm grateful for enrolling for that course. And yes, I'm truly grateful. So please, if you can hear me, just type on the comment, yes, 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 because I really do not know if people can hear me. Please type yes, 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 if you can hear me. Thank you. Okay, so it's going to be an interactive session. No slides, nothing. It's just going to be us talking. Yes, because like I said, I want it to be interactive. So no slides. All right. No slides, guys. And so I already have what I want to say jotted down. Like I said, I'm a virtual assistant who recently completed our ALX VA program. And during the course, I was able to sharpen my skills in Google Workspace, calendar management, email scheduling, and all of that. I've also had the opportunity to, okay, please, if you're just joining, please comment yes, yes, yes. Okay, thank you. Okay, so like I said, I've had the opportunity to serve as a um, team lead with a VA community with over 200 members, where I helped manage tax accountability and then engagement. Outside of that, I've also supported small businesses with tasks like WhatsApp group management, where I was able to help them manage their WhatsApp groups, yeah, and also their appointment scheduling and also inbox organization. So if you're here and you're wondering, okay, so what is next after I've completed my ALX program? I want you to know that you're in the right place. If you just started the program, I want you to also know that you are in the right place. And if you're perhaps in the midway, you're also in the right place. All right, guys, so you're welcome. You are welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so um, the whole essence of this session is to help us figure the next steps after completing your ALX VA course. All right, so that's the essence of this live session. So let's get started. So the agenda for today is going to be welcome and then brief introduction, which I just did a few minutes ago. And then the next is understanding where you are. Okay. And then after that, we're going to be looking at what is next and then how to monetize your skills. And also, we're going to be having a Q&A session where you can ask questions and then we'll wrap up. Okay, so let's, I've done a brief introduction. Okay, so now understanding where you are. So I need you to see yourself as a skilled professional. So you're no longer a learner. All right, you are no longer a learner. So I want you to have a mindset shift that I am not a learner. I am now a skilled professional. You're now a service provider. All right. Okay, I'm trying to read. Okay, so that's what I said. So you're now a skilled professional. You need to think like a business owner or a service provider because you learned Google Workspace, you learned email management, you learned calendar scheduling, you learned customer support. So if you're going to be working with a client, you are actually providing services for them. You're now a service provider and you're not a learner, you're not a student anymore. So you need to have that mindset shift. All right. So I'm going to be asking a few questions along the line. So which tools and tasks did you find, like, did you enjoy the most? Which tools and tasks did you enjoy the most? I'll be reading the comments. Okay, I'm going to start with myself. For me, I would say the tools that I find that I enjoyed the most was Google Form. See, before now, when you try, let's say you're trying to apply for a job and you come across form, for me, I used to wonder, how did you come about this thing? How did you do this? How did you do that? That once you just click on submit, they get it. But during the VA course, I got to know that so Google Form is this simple, like it is this simple. So now I know how to create forms, Google Forms. Not just that, with every settings where you have to, okay, just limit it to just one response. You want to get feedback once they fill the form. all of those has been an eye opener for me. Um, so that's one of the tasks, one of the tools, yeah, that I enjoyed learning the most. Now like I said, I can create forms. Yes. Okay, so let's drop in the comments the tools or tasks that you enjoyed the most. So that is that about understanding where you are. Like I said, you're no longer a student, you're now a service provider too. So see yourself as that. Okay, all right. So the next is now, what can you do next? So guys, I don't know if you're active on the Seku community. You know that there are over thousands of persons that enrolled for that VA course. And for I think every month they have new cohort. So that's to say that you are not the only one that applied for that course. And you also know that they told us to create a Google folder, a Google Drive, a folder in Google Drive to attach all our screenshot and all of that. You know that, right? So I'm trying to say that we have thousands of persons that are doing that same thing. So you want to stand out by creating your own real portfolio. Okay, so what is next is to create your portfolio. Do not just depend on that Google uh, that Google Drive folder that you have. You need to stand out. So let's imagine you applied for a job, and then the same people that registered, that took ALX course, they also applied, and all of you submitted just a link of your folder. What do you think would happen? The clients would just be like, okay, what is this? So I said that to say you need to make things easy for your client. Yes. And the way you can do that is to leverage on tools that you use to create your portfolio. Okay, so there are several tools that you can use to create your portfolio. We have Google Sites, we have Site 123, and if you do not understand all of this, I have videos in my channels that would break it down for you. So you're watching and you're creating your portfolio alongside. So I'm saying um, create your portfolio. Do not just depend on the folder, the Google Drive folder that you have. That is not a thing. That is not your portfolio. Okay. All right. So because let's just even imagine with just let's say site 123, what the client needs to do is just to scroll. That way it is easier. But with Google Drive, they have to click on this, and once it opens, they click on that one. Most of the time, they don't have that time. So they want something that they can just scroll through. So you want to make your portfolio easy to use. You want to make it mobile friendly. All right. So the next, so we looked at creating your portfolio as the next thing after the VA program. So the next thing is polish your resume and LinkedIn profile. If after this VA program and you still do not have a resume, just know that your village people they have won. Exactly. So if after now you don't have a resume, just know that, oh, let me say it in the Nigerian way, they don't get you. Because you cannot say that you do not have a resume after that 8 weeks program. Come on. All right. Because ALX, the what they did was to teach us the essentials. So you want to ensure that you create your resume. For me, resume used to be one hard task because I used to feel like you need a professional to help you write a resume, but now is easier. With Google Docs, you can create your resume. All right. So let me tell you a story. So most of the time when you apply for a job, you most of the time it is that that same minute, that same seconds, you get a rejection mail, and you'll be wondering, oh, what happened? What happened? Okay, so I attended a live program as well, and the host said something. She said she she had the opportunity to work with the HR team and all of them, those ones that are in charge of recruitment, in charge of jobs and all of that. So she saw that. So we all know what ATS means. Loads of applications were coming in for a particular job, and the HR was like, okay, we have over 100 persons that applied for this job. How do we now get rid of the ones that we do not need? So they had to now say, okay, tell the they had to just automate it for it to just accept only people with certain experiences. So let's say, for example, you just said, oh, people with just 2 years experience, and the people with 1 year 1 year experience, they started getting rejection mails. So you would think, oh, it was a person that was sending you, why? Whereas it was automated. So you want to ensure that you polish your resume so that it fits the job description. So, for example, you want to apply for a certain job, and then the job description, they have like five. What you need to do is to just pick like three, pick just three, and then go to your AI tools. You can use DeepSeek, you can use Chat GPT, and then give it the right prompt. So especially when you know that those job description, they are something that you can do. So now you have to now create a new resume where those descriptions are in it, in your resume. So to not just depend on just one resume, you have to have multiple. So depends on the job that you're applying for. Your resume depends on the job you're applying for. So just pick three JDs, that's job descriptions, channel your CV, your resume on those descriptions, and then you can submit, because it is ATS, the machine that's going to. So once it identifies the keywords, then your resume gets approved. But once it doesn't like get those keywords, you get a rejection mail. So you want to polish your resume and also optimize your LinkedIn profile. If you're a person that you're a VA and you are saying, I'm not a social media person, hello, how do you want to get clients if you're not a social media person? Please, please tell me, how do you want to get clients if you're not a social media person? So you want to dead that idea, like dead that thought, oh, I'm not a social media person. Hello. Please go and optimize your LinkedIn. Please, during the course, you were taught how to use Canva. So go on Canva, get a banner, LinkedIn banner, and then put it out there on your LinkedIn. Get a banner, optimize your profile, write a detailed bio, that's your headline. Put yourself out there. Because if you do not, how do you get a job? All right. So you want to optimize your LinkedIn. How do you want people to know you're a VA if you don't even have if you don't have a LinkedIn account? And then add your certifications. You have certificates, put it out there. Do not keep them just, I don't know where you kept them, but put it out there. Let people see your work. Let people see what you're doing. Yes, comment on people's posts. Follow your fellow VAs. Like, that's one thing. Is the thing is, if you're a virtual assistant, you want to ensure you follow other virtual assistants. Do not follow people that are not on the same journey with you. So, not I wouldn't say do not follow the people that are not VAs as well, but then you want to follow the people that are on the same journey with you. That way you get notified. That way you get to see what is happening. That way you get you get update on what is currently going on. So on LinkedIn, when you follow certain, like if you follow a if you, let's say you follow me and then I like a comment, you are going to see that post. You're going to see that, oh, I liked this person's post, or I commented on this person's post. So if that post was a vacancy and I liked it, you are going to see it, and then you get to also apply. So you can imagine if you do not follow the people that are on the same journey with you, how do you now apply for jobs? Okay, so you want to follow your fellow VAs. You also want to be out there. Okay, so the next is where to find clients and then internships. How do you find clients? How do you get internships? It is when you join platforms like Upwork, Fiverr, Facebook groups. So for the Fiverr, for the Upwork rather, you want to ensure that you create an account. So I know that before you start applying applying, you have to like get connections, pay for connections and all. So one thing you need to know is, in order to get money, you have to spend money. Yes. So what I would suggest is, if you have that money, fine, go for it, get that connection, and then you start to build. So do not say, okay, because on Upwork they charge this rate, this that. No, no. Like I said, if you need money, you have to spend money. So join platforms, Facebook groups. Just go to Facebook and then search for virtual assistant, and then you see loads of groups that you can join. That way you will get notifications when they post VA jobs. All right, you'll get notifications. So join join Facebook groups. And then use job boards like Glassdoors, Indeed. So what you want to do is sign up with those job boards. And whenever you do, you always get a mail whenever a job comes up. So don't just say, oh, the job will come, the job will come. If you do not apply, the job will not come. And also, you can even sign up for LinkedIn job alert. And how do you do that? You click on, so if you're using a phone, what you want to do is click on the jobs icon that is at the bottom. So click on that, and then if you're using a system, the jobs icon is at the top. So search for, so once you click on that jobs icon, on the search bar, you just type the jobs that you're looking for. Let's say you type virtual assistant. Once you do that, you activate the alert, the job alert toggle. There's a toggle that you just have to activate it. And then you get to see set alerts. Just turn that on. That way, LinkedIn will notify you whenever a similar job is posted so that you can be among the first to apply. All right. And then once you do that, you get to see a message beneath. If you're using a phone, you see the message, a laptop, you see the message beneath, and then you click on that. You can click on the pencil icon to just adjust the frequency. So if you want the notification to be daily or weekly, you can just change that. And then if you want it to be just email and notification, you can also set it to be that only. If you just want only email or only notification, there's a way you can just activate that. And then the next thing I'm going to say is keep learning and growing. All right. So enroll in short courses. Yes. Before the job comes, don't stay idle. You want to keep learning, you want to keep growing. So, like I said, enroll in short courses. And the good thing is, gone are those days that you have to have certain amount of money before you get before you take up courses. Now we have free resources everywhere. YouTube is there, um, Coursera is there. And the good thing about Coursera is you can apply for financial aid and you get to take that course free without even paying any amount. So I have a video that explains that. So you want to check that after this session. All right. Okay. So like I said, keep learning. The tech space is evolving. So you have to keep learning in order to stay relevant. Yes, I know that, oh, ALS, they taught you this, but do not just depend on that knowledge. You want to keep learning. Okay, you want to keep learning. And then the next thing we're going to be looking at is how to monetize your skills. The one way you can, um, one of the ways you can monetize your skills is to teach beginners what you've learned. So you can teach them for a small amount. So what I do is when I learn something, I teach other people. Most of the time I do it for free, or I just charge a lower fee, something I know that they can afford. So you teach beginners what you've learned for a small amount. See, if there's anything that has worked for me, It is teaching people what I know. Yes. And most times it is the classes are usually paid classes, and like I said, just a lower rate that they can afford. And most people think that, oh, what you know, people also they know what you know, so you don't want to stress yourself, you don't want to teach anyone. Guys, that's a big lie. See, what you know, some persons will pay thousands of naira, of dollars, whatever, just to know that same thing. So if you think, I know this thing, I don't have to teach it because people already they know it. That's a big lie. Guy, people are ready to pay for what you know. Okay? So what you want to do is, like I said, teach people what you know. Even if it is one person that you are teaching, teach that one person like you're teaching 10 people. That way, they'll recommend you. You even get testimonials. So you need the testimonials. And how do you even teach you might probably say, oh, I'm not a social person, I don't have friends, I don't have this. You have friends, but just maybe one or two. What you want to do is see your WhatsApp status. Yeah, your WhatsApp status should not just be for just your pictures alone. No, you also want to use that to put out any info. So, for example, you learned Google Workspace. What you need to do is now, like I said, you know how to use Canva. Go on Canva, create a flyer, use any of the AI tools, draft a write-up, a post or something. Do that, and then go to your WhatsApp status and post the flyer and the write-up. That's one. You have a friend. Send the flyer, the post to your friend so that they can help you repost. That one, that is two. Tell your friend to tell, because they also have friends. Tell them to tell their own friends to help you repost. You see how that way you're getting crowds. So tell them to help you repost. One, let me go back. You first is you post on your own status. Second, tell your friend to help you repost. Tell your friend to also tell their own friend to help you repost. And the good thing is, if you're going to be holding this training for free, what you just need to do is, okay, tell them to whoever that joined, tell them that, oh, if they can help you repost, they're going to get a free gift, and ensure that you give them that free gift. It can be a PDF um, file that explains something. You can, or you can just give them anything, but ensure that you keep your promise. All right. So that's how. So like I said, teach people what you know. That's how you monetize your skills. Do not just keep that skill and say, okay, when the right job comes, I'm going to use it. No, teach people what you know. So I was just last week, I was just thinking. So I wanted to teach something, and then I just felt like, oh, this thing is simple now. People would already know this thing, so why should I even teach it? And then I checked, I went on LinkedIn and I saw that same post. Somebody posted that. You can imagine. Somebody said, oh, she thought people knew this thing, but when she had that training, a lot of persons were like, oh, thank you for this training. I never knew this thing. I never knew that thing. So you can imagine, you think, hey, people they know this thing, but they don't. So that is where you come in. When you teach them, you get to monetize your skills. And even if you're doing it for free, you're building a community. And if you can even like collaborate with people, host webinars, you have people, oh, tell them, you people can come together and then host webinars. That's how you monetize your skills. Okay? Don't just think it is until you apply for that big job, that's when you get to monetize your skills. No, you start small. Most people, when you hear that, oh, they are famous, they started with all those just little things like, oh, just starting a free course, training people for free, and then just building communities, like different communities. So that's one way. And for me, there was a particular time that I learned how to use a particular app. I paid for it. It was a paid class. I paid for it, and guess what? After I learned that thing, I decided to create my own resources, and then I had my own class. So I made the fee affordable. Like I said, I always make my fee affordable so people can join. And guess what, guys? I made so the price. I learned that how to use the app. I just paid 2,000 naira for the class, and guys, guess how much I made? I made oh, I made over 100K for just a 2,000 naira training that that I enrolled for. So, like I said, and I'll say it again, monetize your skills. Don't be wasting your knowledge or teach people what you know. They are willing to pay anything, any amount. Okay? So that's one thing. To monetize your skill, you also have to start a freelance journey, open up work, Fiverr, send cold emails to people you would love to work with. And then you can also hold tutorials, like literally anything, as long as it is valuable. Okay, you can teach anything as long as it is valuable, as long as it is not, oh, just get rich quick scheme. No, you want to teach people. People are willing to pay for anything that is valuable. All right, so we're going to be having, now it is time for the Q&A session. So if you have any question, please, I will be checking the comments to see if we have any question. Okay. Okay, guys, please ask your question. So how has the session been so far? Okay. Um, yeah, so how has the session been so far? Were you able to learn anything? Okay, the question, I'm sorry guys, I'm trying to fix something. Mm, the, that was yesterday. Mm, okay, so how do I get so the first question is, what if I don't have experience? Will clients still hire me? So I'm trying to use my other system to. So it says, if I don't, what if I don't have experience? Will clients still hire me? And the answer is yes. Clients will still hire you if you position yourself well. Okay. So you want to showcase your ALX training, showcase your certificate when you eventually get it, and then offer trial services or internship to build trust. So you want to do all of that. So do not say, oh, because you don't have experience, then you're not going to get hired. That's a lie. That's a big lie. Okay. And then the next is, which platforms are best for getting VA jobs? My answer is, we have LinkedIn, we have Upwork, we have, like I said, sign up for those job boards like Glassdoor, Indeed, so that you can always get notifications and then you get to apply for those jobs. And then one person is saying, do I need a portfolio? Of course, you need a portfolio. Yes, you need a portfolio. Um, you need to you need a portfolio because this is what your client will get to see because they need proof. So your portfolio is your proof. And then should I, somebody is saying that, should I specialize or offer general VA services? What I'll say is, you can start the general one if you're unsure. Then you can now specialize in areas you enjoy or areas that are in demand. And then one person is saying, how much should I charge as a beginner VA? Okay, so what I'll say is, you can always go out there to see how much other VAs are charging. And then if it's something you like, you can fix your rates. If it's something that you feel you can just reduce, you should. But ensure that it is a standard rate. Don't rate yourself too low. Okay. And then you can now increase as you gain experience. All right. So one person is saying, can I work as a VA even if I have a full-time job or I'm still in school? Yes, you can. Many clients, they want part-time support. So just be honest about your availability. All right. You want to be honest. And then the next is, how can I improve my confidence during interviews or client calls? So I'll say that, practice your elevator pitch, prepare answers to common questions, and then you can now rehearse. You can rehearse with a friend or just a family member or something. That way, your confidence comes into action. All right. And then the last question is, what is the difference between freelancing and working as a remote employee? That's a tough one. Okay, so freelancers, they work on projects or hourly contract independently. So a freelancer can, they just work on project or hourly contract. So you hear the people on Upwork, they charge per hour. All right, so that those are freelancers. And then the remote employees, they work full time or part time with benefit, and they are part of a company structure. So a remote employer will enjoy the benefits that comes with working in that company. So, for example, they get to enjoy benefits like HMO, vacations, and all. But you, as a freelancer, you don't get to enjoy that because you're your own boss. All right. So that's the difference. And all right, guys. So that would be the end of the Q&A session. All right. And then yes. So if you have any other question, you can always drop them in the comment and we will answer. Okay. So the final word will be: do not limit yourself. Do not limit yourself to what ALX has taught you. Okay. So you want to go out there, use leverage on YouTube, learn, learn, learn. Learn workflow automation. Learn tools like Zapier, Buffer, Notion, and all of that. Do not wait for a perfect job. Start small. Teach people what you know, or just a small rate. Start small and start now. Don't wait for no perfect time. If you wait, before you know it, 2 years, 3 years, and then you're still there. Whereas somebody that just even started a few days ago is already ahead of you. Though it is not a competition, but you have to tell yourself the truth. Okay? Don't wait for the perfect job. You can be your own, you can be your own boss. Teach people what you know. And then that way you already have a job. Exactly. So start with what you have. Yes. Do not wait until you have that that certificate, that um, big job. No, start now. Start with what you have. And then what I would say is the 8 weeks were just the foundation. All right. Now it is time for you to build. You have to stay visible, put yourself out there, stay consistent, and stay learning. Yes, a man never stops learning until he dies. So when you stop learning, you're already dead, even though it's not a physical death. But then what is left? You have to keep learning. Okay, so that's it. That's where I'm going to be stopping for today. All right, guys. Please, if you found this session helpful, please like and then subscribe to my channel. Okay, so I'm going to call it a day. And thank you so much for joining. And bye bye. Oof.